dragonfly friends. I am doing another test with this cell activator. I was thinking after my last video that I had stated that I was going to try and just do 2 paint, but then I thought, why don't I just go ahead and try different pour mediums that I have to see which one it might work better with before I add any tube paint or anything like that to it, because I want to see if it'll work with any kind of pouring medium that we all might be using. And so I wanted to test that out. I did a goober move, and after I did the swipes in the bloom, I really didn't like it, so I ended up scraping it and realized I shouldn't have done that because that's not really going to give clear dried results. So I went ahead and did another test with exactly the same colors and pigments and everything to give everybody a clear idea. It shredded. It really just, the pigment stayed true underneath, but wherever the cell activator was, it really just shredded and did not look good. So that's why I ended up scraping everything. I also just have this tile that I had resined and stuff, but I wanted to just do a clear swipe of that, just the cell activator, to see how it would actually dry, and it doesn't dry too badly. I do have to say though, though it does, the things that I have read, it does say that there isn't any silicone oil in it, but just putting it on my fingers, it does feel oily to me. So there's something in it, and I'm just not real sure what it is. So that is why I wanted to give this stuff the best chance of a good test to see how it's going to work with any kind of pour medium, to see if it even does. I'm using a whiteboard so that I will let it dry, I promise, after I do all the different swipes, and let it dry and see how it ends up drying by itself with just the pour mediums. I do have a colored house paint, just regular house paint from I believe I got it at Lowe's or whatever. It's from a cabinet that I had painted, so I figured I might as well go ahead and use that, because a lot of people do like to use house paint. So I figured, you know, it's a light color. This is a dark cell activator, so you'll be able to see it, and I want to see how it reacts that way for you all, so that you guys can get a general idea. But I did do a few different things of what I just already had around my house. So I do have a big bottle of Floetrol, and I have that right here. It's Floetrol only by itself, but then this one is Floetrol with some of the gel gloss, because I know a lot of people have been mixing those together to get more of a thicker consistency, and it is thicker. It definitely is a thicker consistency, and these are just small tiny cups, so each one will have a different consistency to them. But in this one I have the Liquitex pouring medium, the E for Effects, to see if that might make a difference. And then I'm using the golden gloss medium, because a lot of us like to use that mixed in with other mediums that we may be using. And then I had some of this. I don't use it very often, but it's just the Pouring Masters gloss pouring medium, so I'm going to use that. And then I have the regular Liquitex, just the gloss medium. So let's see, I have it all labeled, so hopefully I won't get mixed up, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so first we'll just use the regular Liquitex Gloss medium. It's not the Effects one, and that's the consistency. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, but it's, you know, it's runs right back into itself. So we're gonna try that first. And I did shake the cell activator like it said. And I'm just gonna put some on here and swipe it down, and we'll see what it does. Okay, so that was the Liquitex Gloss medium. This is the Pouring Masters medium, and it's super thin. It's just almost like water. That's why I don't really use it that much. So the Liquitex Gloss medium broke up very quickly. And it sells up, but it doesn't react exactly the way that I would want it to. And this is the golden medium. Bit thicker than the Pouring Masters. And I do realize that when you add paint, it changes the ingredients in the pour mediums and everything, but I just wanted to give this a shot to see, because if one of them does end up working better than the rest, then I will add paint to it and do a swipe or a bloom or something maybe in another video and see how it does. And this is just the Floetrol by itself. Just regular old Floetrol. It looks really good with just the Floetrol. So that's promising. And then this is the Liquitex Effects pour medium. this will be the just the Floetrol and the gel gloss that I mixed, and like I said, it is much thicker. So thus far, it looks like just Floetrol will work with it, yeah, or the Flow and Gel Gloss, which is interesting. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit of house paint down right here and see how it reacts to that. Colors are pretty together. And I'll torch it just for torching sake. Okay, so what I'll do is I will just let these dry and see how they continue to hold up. At least, I mean, it looks great with the house paint too. So this could be a great option for doing blooms if you use house paint. We'll just have to see. I might try to do a bloom even with this house paint. But the next thing, actually, I do have some of those pigments that I had, because one of my questions was if the pigments were reacting poorly to it because of the JoSonja that I use to disperse in. So maybe just since I have a little bit of extra, I'll put just the pigment right there, and we'll test that out, that theory out. Why not? We're experimenting and trying to figure this stuff out. Doesn't hurt. Plus, it'll be good to know if we're using pigments with our blooms and house paint, if it'll work well or not. So far, it's holding up okay. So I'm looking over here, and it does look like some of the cells have not held very well over here. Perfect with just the Floetrol. And I would say, you know, if I had, you know, probably paint to thicken this up a little bit more, or, you know, these are simple little tiny swipes just to give an example, but the Floetrol and the gel gloss could probably be a great option as well. So let me go ahead and hold this up. Hopefully you can see the differences. And then that's the pigments. But I think that was a great test run, especially since a lot of us don't just use one medium. We often like to mix things to make it thicker or thinner depending on what we're doing. And you know, I'm trying to give this stuff the best shot of being usable and an alternative. I hope you like this, and I will let this dry, I promise. And I might next just try to do something with the Floetrol, because that looks the best. Thank you so much. I hope this helped. Please leave me a comment, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Have a good day.